Good morning, students. Today we are discussing about the knee joint 2 part, the continuation. So already we are discussed about the knee joint. It's which type of joint, what are the articular surfaces, what are the ligaments give the support. Ligaments are capsular ligament, anterior cruciate ligament, posterior cruciate ligament, menisci, lateral menisci, medial menisci, transverse ligaments, and also meniscofemoral ligaments, and collateral ligaments lateral and medial. Not only this, and also bursa around the knee joint also we are discussed. Today we are discussing the continuation of the knee joint to the blade supply, now supply. These are the competencies like movements and muscles involved blade supply, now supply of the knee joint, and explain the anatomical basis of the locking and unlocking of the knee joint. Describe the knee joint injuries with its applied anatomy. Explain anatomical basis of the osteoarthritis. First, we'll discussing the blood supply. The blood supply is mainly supplied by the popliteal artery. It is a continuation of the femoral artery. It is passing through the adductor canal, through the fifth osteoponeurotic fascia. It is enter into the popliteal fossa as a popliteal artery. This popliteal artery give a 5 genicular branches. One is the descending genicular branch from the femoral artery. Second one is the descending branch of the lateral circumflex femoral artery. 2 recurrent branches from the anterior tibial artery, 1 circumflex femoral branch of the posterior tibial arteries. These are the 5 branches going to supplies to the knee joint. See this diagram. This is a descending genicular branch. This is a superior medial genicular branch, inferior medial genicular branch, and inferior lateral genicular branch, and superior lateral genicular branch. This is going to anastomosing with the lateral circumflex femoral branch. This is going to superior medial genicular anastomosing with the descending genicular branch of the femoral artery. Whereas here the inferior medial genicular artery is going to anastomosing with the femoral artery. And here inferior lateral genicular branch anastomosing with the anterior tibial branch. Going to anastomosing with the inferior lateral genicular artery. These are the 5 branches, genicular branches anastomosing each other and going to supply to the knee joint. What is the nerve supply to the knee joint? The mainly the femoral nerve, sciatic nerve, that is 2 branches, tibial and common peroneal, optic nerve. Each nerve give a articular branches. If it is a femoral nerve, its continuation is there, passing through this adductor canal, and continuation saphenous nerve is there, and some other femoral nerve branches make a patellar plexus. Next, obturator posterior division also going to supplies to this knee joint. Sciatic nerve, the posterior, that is a tibial nerve, common peroneal part of the sciatic nerve give a small genicular branches going to supplies to the knee joint posteriorly. See here, this is a femoral obturator nerve, posterior division, it will make a branches. This is a femoral nerve, it going to reach to the patellar, make a patellar plexus. Whereas the posterior also we can identify the sciatic nerve division, that is a tibial component, and the common peroneal. Now this give a genicular branches going to supply to this around to the knee joint. So now supply to the knee joint. Next, what are the movements takes? Mainly the flexion and extension. These are the chief movements. Not only this, and also we can identify lateral rotator and medial rotation. So the flexion here found by this is a biceps and semimembranous muscle. These are the hamstring muscles. These are present in the back of the thigh region. Hamstring muscles, when it is contraction, then automatically knee become a flexed. Whereas the extension, quadriceps femoris muscle, it is the anterior compartment of thigh muscle. When it is relaxed, when it is contracts, automatically it become a extension of the knee joint. Next, medial rotation. Medial rotation, it is by the popliteus muscle, semimembranous and semitendinous muscles. These make a medial rotation of the knee joint. Whereas the lateral rotation by the biceps femoris muscle. These are the muscles involved movements of the knee joint. Whereas the medial and lateral rotation, these are the movements takes place in the lower meniscotibial compartment of the joint, that is a meniscus. These are articulates with the that with the tibial superior articular surface, that is a medial and lateral rotation. What is the locking and unlocking? This is very important short notes. The locking. When the foot is on the ground, the locking defined as the medial rotation of the femur on the tibia during the terminal phase. When the terminal phase of the fully extension of the knee joint, that time this become a knee joint become a locking by the quadriceps femoris muscle. When the fully extension, that is terminal phase of the extension of the knee joint, that is called the locking. Which muscle is involved here? Quadriceps femoris muscle. At that time, when it is locked, it is become a very tight, means the ligament hold by this. Whereas the unlocking, that is, it is look like a screw home mechanism. When the screw home mechanism, at that time, this become a locking fully extension. Through this, the weight bearing load during the erect posture. So, whereas the unlocking, what happens? Here the lateral rotation of the femur on the tibia when it is the during the initial phase of the flexion. When it is the initial phase of the flexion, then lateral rotation takes place by the femur on the tibia, that is the unlocking phase. Whereas the locking phase, when medial rotation in the tibia, that is a femur moves the medial side on the femur, that is the terminal phase of the extension. See here the unlocking by the popliteus muscle. Mainly unlocking muscle is popliteus muscle, whereas the locking muscle is the quadriceps femoris muscle. See, when it is unlocked, it is further flexed by the hamstring muscle. First, it will take the popliteus muscle, then after it will take the hamstring muscles at unlocking of the knee joint. Whereas the locking, that is the quadriceps femoris muscles. This short notes we are expecting this locking and unlocking. What is the clinical anatomy? You know now the anatomical position, that is the type of the joint, articular surfaces, muscles, relations, ligaments, bursas, blood supply, nerve supply, action. Now, this knowledge we are using in the clinical side. See, the first is the dislocation of patella. Mostly occur laterally. It is more common in females because of their greater Q angle. Q angle means that is a quadriceps femoris tendon insertion that is on the base of the patella. If you make a one line from the center of the patella to up to the anterior superior iliac spine, that is a straight line, it is going obliquely. Next, another straight line from the apex of the patellar ligament is going to towards the middle side. Between this oblique line and the straight line, there is an angle is there, mainly more in the female at the time. So dislocation mainly in the lateral side of the knee joint. The meniscal tearing. This is important. Meniscal injuries are commonly caused by the twisting strains, mainly slightly flexed knee in kicking of the footballs. So mainly here, football players, youngsters, this the meniscal tearing is more and more, that is mainly in the medial menisci. Medial menisci is involving at the time of the kicking of the football, that is tear. See, the meniscus may get separated from the capsule. It may be torn longitudinally, that is the bucket handle tearing, that is the transverse tearing of the medial meniscus. Medial meniscus is more prone to injury than the lateral meniscus because there is a fine fixity of the tibial collateral ligament is there. Fine fixity of the tibial collateral ligament. It is a medial side. It is a fibrous sheet, superior, superficial, and deep layers are there. Whereas the lateral meniscus, it is folded. Oh, sorry. See, this is a vertical tearing of the menisci. This is a transverse tearing of the menisci. Peripheral tearing of the menisci. This is a bucket handle tearing, mainly in the football players. Parrot beak type, that is a tearing. This is a flap-like tearing in the medial meniscus. Also, we are identifying various different types of the tearings in the menisci. Next, whereas the lateral meniscus, it is protected by popliteus muscle and its tendon, that is a cord-like tendon lateral side. We can identify and give the more support to the lateral meniscus. That's why it is cannot turn and cannot tear when compared to the medial menisci. See, the main pain on the medial rotation at the time of the locking means the medial rotation injury of the medial meniscus. When the unlocking time, pain on the lateral rotation during the injury to the lateral meniscus. This is a medical and the diagnostic purpose we are using. The asking the patient do the locking at the time medial rotation of the femur on the tibia. That time the patient saying medial side the paining medial, that time we can indicate that is the medial meniscal injuries. If it is the unlocking, that time lateral rotation of the femur on the tibia, that is the injury to the lateral meniscus. Next, another one is the housemaid's knee. These are the bursas, prepatellar bursa. If it is against to the patella, when it comes contact with the ground during the scrubbing of the floor by the housemaid. In the housemaids, we are identifying this prepatellar bursa inflammation and clergyman's knee. See, when the inflammation of the subcutaneous infrapatellar bursa, prepatellar bursa is a housemaid's knee, whereas a infrapatellar bursa is a clergyman's knee. That is, it occurs due to the friction of bursa against the tibial tuberosity during the kneeling. That is a clergyman's knee. Baker cyst, we can identify that semi-membranous present on the cystic swelling. We are identifying the posterior surface of the medial condyle of the tibia. We can identify Baker cyst or the popliteal cyst. We can identify. Osteoarthritis is very, very important. Nowadays, it is most commonly, it is being weight bearing joint. The knee joint is commonly involved in the degeneration after 40 years in the females, mainly wearing and tearing of the articular surfaces. Articular surface, there is a cartilage is there, that is a wear and tear of the articular thread. At that time we can identify there is no movement, may be painful, limited and producing the grating. Radiographically, sometimes when you take the X-rays, we can identify the osteophytes, that is peripherally lipping of the articular ends. That is the radiographic we can identify. And aspiration of the knee joint. So sometimes we can identify it in the knee joint region. The fluid is accumulated. Fluid is accumulated. That time we can identify it in the fluid sucking from the lateral side of the patellar region. We are sucking. That is the aspiration of the fluid can be done on either side of the ligamentum patella. Next, arthroscopy of the knee joint. See, nowadays crucial ligament repairs like anterior cruciate ligament, posterior cruciate ligament, and replacements. So we are using the arthroscopy, that small camera we are introducing into the knee joint cavity. Through that direction, we can do which tear this anterior or posterior. Then we can automatically, we are doing the repairs or the replacement as well as the repair anterior and posterior cruciate ligaments. Knee replacement. Sometimes we can identify that whole knee joint replaced by the steel rods. So that is replaced by the plastic tibial component and the metal femoral component connected to the tibia and femoral bone ends after removal of the damaged area which is present inside of this. So both the femur, this is osteoarthritis. Next is the clinical that is applied anatomy. That knowledge we can also clinical based study question. See, one is a final year medical student while playing football received a blow on the lateral side of his right knee and fell on the ground. So he felt a sharp pain on the medial aspect of the right knee and was not able to extend the leg on the same side. He was taken to the hospital where the examination doctor found that this right knee was swollen, especially above the patella. He was diagnosed the case of torn of the medial meniscus of the knee joint. See, the diagnosed. What are the questions we are expecting from this clinical case study? One is the enumerate the main intracapsular structures of the knee joint. What are there? You know that ligaments. What are the next? Why is the injury to the medial meniscus more common than the lateral meniscus? What is the cause of swelling of the knee, especially above the patella in these cases? What type of meniscal tearing is commonly seen in the football players? What is the unhappy trade of the knee joint? These are the questions we are expecting from this above clinical based case study. So this is important. You know already all the answers. So we are discussed in this chapter knee joint 1, knee joint 2 parts. Go through these questions. So we are expecting from here the sometimes the meniscus short notes, Barsa around the knee joint 7 mark question. Electric question sometimes that describe the details about the knee joint. The following headings like a type, articular surfaces, injury next to muscles, movements, bursts around the knee joint, applied anatomy. So we can expect from this job knee joint short notes, very short, and electric questions also. These are the answers. Thank you.